Somewhere right now, someone is staring at their phone. They sent a message 3 hours ago, no reply, and their chest actually hurts. Not in a dramatic way, just a tight, uncomfortable feeling, like something is wrong in their body. Here's the strange part. Nothing actually happened to them. No injury, no danger, just silence. So why does silence feel like pain? Turns out, it kind of is pain. Real, physical pain. Scientists have looked inside the brain during moments of social rejection, and the same regions light up as they do during actual physical injury. Not similar regions, the same ones, which means your brain doesn't fully know the difference between a broken arm and a broken group chat. That sounds like a glitch. Something evolution should have fixed by now. Except it's not a glitch at all. It's a leftover alarm system, and once you understand where it came from, being ignored suddenly makes a lot more sense. Let's go back. Way back. Before phones, before cities, before agriculture even existed, for most of human history, people lived in small groups, maybe 20 to 50 people. That was it. That was your entire world. There were no strangers passing by to team up with if things went wrong. No neighboring village to ask for help. If your group didn't want you around anymore, there was nowhere else to go. So getting excluded wasn't just awkward back then, it was a death sentence. Alone, a human couldn't fight off predators, couldn't gather enough food consistently, couldn't defend against other tribes at night. Humans are not fast. We don't have claws or fangs. Our real survival tool was each other, which means the group wasn't just nice to have. The group was the thing keeping you alive. So evolution had a problem to solve. How do you make sure people never accidentally get themselves kicked out? You make exclusion feel unbearable. You wire the brain to treat social distance like physical danger, so the person fixes it immediately before it's too late. That's the part most people miss. This wasn't designed to make humans feel good. It was designed to keep humans alive. But here's where it gets interesting, because that alarm system is still running today, fully switched on, except the world around it has completely changed. Think about how many social signals we get in a single day now. A text that goes unanswered, a message left unread, a group photo you weren't invited to, a friend who used to reply fast, now replying slow. Your ancient brain doesn't process any of that as mildly annoying modern inconvenience. It processes it as, this might be the moment I get left behind, which is why getting left on red can genuinely ruin someone's afternoon. It's not weakness. It's not overreacting. It's an alarm built for tribal survival, going off in a world that runs on text messages. So the pain is real. The threat behind it usually isn't. Now here's something that makes this even stranger. Researchers have found that even mild social exclusion, something as small as being left out of a simple game with total strangers online, causes a measurable spike in emotional distress. Strangers, online. A game that means absolutely nothing. And the brain still reacts like something important just happened. That tells you this system isn't picky. It doesn't wait to check if the group actually matters for survival. It just detects distance and hits the alarm immediately. Fast reaction, no filter, which was exactly the point back when hesitation could get you killed. There's another detail here that most people never think about. This alarm doesn't just react to being kicked out. It reacts to the possibility of being kicked out. Just the uncertainty is enough. That's why a simple pause in conversation can feel loud. Your brain isn't waiting for actual proof that something is wrong. It's scanning for any hint of it, just in case. Because back then, waiting for proof could take too long. But there's another twist here, and it's the part that explains a lot of modern behavior. If exclusion feels like danger, the brain isn't just going to sit there and feel bad. It's going to push you to fix it immediately. That's why silence after a message can trigger checking your phone every 2 minutes. That's why an unanswered text can make someone spiral into overthinking every possible reason why. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad? Should I text again? That loop isn't random anxiety. That's a survival system trying to solve a problem it thinks is urgent. Reconnect, reconnect, reconnect. Because for most of human history, reconnecting fast was the difference between staying safe and being left behind. The tool was built for a small world. Now it's running in a massive one, pinging constantly, with far more opportunities to feel excluded than any tribe ever experienced in an entire lifetime. Which raises the real question. If this system is so sensitive, why hasn't evolution toned it down by now? Here's the uncomfortable answer. Evolution doesn't remove things just because they cause discomfort in modern life. It only removes things that stop you from surviving long enough to pass on your genes. Feeling hurt by being ignored doesn't stop someone from reproducing. It doesn't threaten survival today the way it did thousands of years ago. So there was never any pressure to switch it off, which means we're all walking around with an ancient alarm bell tuned for tribes of 20 people, now going off in a world of billions of strangers and constant notifications. No wonder it feels overwhelming sometimes. It even shows up in the small stuff you'd never expect. Ever notice how a meeting where nobody responds to your idea feels worse than it should? Or how being the last one picked for anything, even something meaningless, leaves a weird sting behind? That's the same ancient circuit, treating a tiny modern moment like a survival level threat. So what do you actually do with this? You're not going to delete millions of years of wiring, but knowing where the feeling comes from changes what it means. That sting after being ignored isn't proof that something is wrong with you. It isn't even proof that something is wrong in the relationship. It's an old alarm reacting to a new world using the only settings it's ever had. Once you see it that way, it gets a lot easier to pause before reacting, to wait a little longer before sending that second message, to recognize the feeling for what it actually is instead of what it feels like in the moment. Humans didn't survive because we were the strongest. We survived because we needed each other so badly that even the smallest hint of distance felt like danger. That single feeling helped hold tribes together for thousands of years, long before anyone knew what a phone even was. Now it just quietly runs in the background every time your screen stays silent a little too long, and somewhere, right now, someone is still staring at it, waiting.